It was D-Day all over again for embattled residents of Mumbai's Campa Cola complex. The eviction drive, the prelude to demolition of many homes, kicked off with barricades, security bandobast and BMC teams arriving to get the job done. But the gates didn't open. Residents put up a fight, blocked the entry, defied the Supreme Court order for the third time. BMC officials were forced to go away, promising to return and use force if blocked the next time.
Was tense. The showdown fierce. As the moment of truth arrived, high drama played out inside and outside the Worli compound. Gods were invoked, human chains formed to block the BMC officials for the third time.
Residents in Campa Cola are now knocking the doors of gods because there is a Shanti Havan going on in the compound where we can see all the residents are sitting here and they are doing a Shanti Havan in the compound. They want peace in their society.
I have nothing to say. They are doing their job and we are going to do our job. What we are asking is for legal rights. And we are a democratic country. The constitution says it's of the people, by the people and for the people. So we are the citizens of this country. Why are they treating us like terrorists?
I mean, we are stuck on our stand. We are not going to give up our houses because today it has happened to us. Tomorrow it can happen to anybody. You have seen the case of Noida. So today I am appealing to all the Mumbaikars to come and stand with us because this is a fight for justice.
The residents put up a tough fight. But the BMC too stood firm. Forced to leave after 90 minutes, they returned at 4 p.m. for the second push.
आज की तारीख में आज की हम सिर्फ उनको कन्विंस करेंगे गेट खोल दे और हमको हमारा कर्तव्य पूरा करने के लिए सहयोग करेंगे।
तो आज की डिस्कनेक्शन काम होगा या फिर इंटरनल दीवार को तोड़ने की भी तैयारी है?
आज की तो सिर्फ सर्विसेज कट कर रहे हैं।
The politicians only offered sympathy and angled for brownie points.
What can we do after the court order? That is the issue. We have sympathy for those people. But now it has gone to an advanced stage.
As the day ended, the BMC bared its claws, threatened a contempt notice and warned that next time it will use force to get its job done.
रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं हम लोग कि गेट खोल के दे दे, हम लोग जाके कार्रवाई करने वाले हैं। जितना चाहिए था उतना मिल गया, लेकिन आज बल का इस्तेमाल नहीं करने वाले हैं। पहले बता दिया सुबह हमने, इसके लिए आज कोई भी ऐसा फोर्स इस्तेमाल नहीं होगा।
But the residents refused to budge, taking on the country's highest court through the BMC. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.
Joining us on center stage at this time is Sunanda. She's a resident of the Campa Cola complex. With us also is Rahul Navrekar, spokesperson for the NCP, YP Singh, former IPS officer and activist. I want to go across first to Sunanda. Despite the fact, madam, that the Supreme Court has held that you must vacate your complex and that building, residents of the Campa Cola compound refused to do so, you are now in contempt of court. Why are you not respecting what the highest court in the country has ordered you to do, madam?
You know, it really pains to see me. It's so convenient for the government to pick and choose which Supreme Court order they want to adhere to. Others still stands after the Supreme Court order. The dance bars still remain closed in spite of the Supreme Court order. So why this discrimination to us? Secondly, I would bring it to your notice that for 5 months, the Supreme Court order had asked the BMC and the authorities to look at us with a humane angle and come up with a solution. And this I can verify with the correspondence that has taken place between both the councils of the BMC.
No, but what are you suggesting, madam? That the Supreme Court order is not the last word in this country and that you now wish to challenge the Supreme Court and not do what they're saying that you must? That is what you seem to be suggesting, ma'am.
I'm not challenging the Supreme Court. I'm not challenging the Supreme Court order, sir. I'm just asking for what is legally mine. I'm asking for the available FSI on the plot. And we are ready to demolish what is outside the FSI. And I just want to know, why is it that the middle class is only being targeted? Why is it that the government...
Ma'am, all these arguments are now in the past. These arguments have been heard by the highest court in the land. And the court in the land has ordered that you must vacate that building. That is where, in any country, the law rests. Now, all these arguments you've already put before the Supreme Court and various other courts before that. You've lost everywhere. Now you must do what the Supreme Court asks you to if the sanctity of law in this country is to be upheld.
Sir, we still have a curative petition pending in the Supreme Court, and we can, we can even on humanitarian grounds, we are asking the BMC to give us 4 months of respite during the monsoon. I mean, there is a total disconnect with the middle class and the apathy of the government and the convenience of the government to pick and choose whichever Supreme Court order they want to listen to. So why is it that only the middle class is...
Extensions in the past. This is not your first extension. You've been given extensions in the past. This is the final deadline after all the extensions that were sought had already expired.
This was the extension, yes, but did you see Supreme Court order had Supreme Court had also asked the BMC and the government to come up with a humane solution. So who's in contempt of court? Are they not contempt of court? Have they not committed contempt of court previous to us? I mean, it's something which is really beyond me that today a middle class, everybody says that what is happening to us is not done, but there is no solution.
Okay, so Rahul Navrekar, the Adarsh building must be demolished and the bars must be opened are also Supreme Court orders. A resident of Campa Cola is asking your government, why have those orders not been implemented, and why is the government and the BMC insisting only on implementing this one particular order? How do you respond to her, Rahul?
Well, first and foremost, let me tell you that every law-abiding citizen of this country, every entity that is law-abiding will submit themselves to the orders of the judiciary, and every law-abiding citizen must obey the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court. Having said that, the larger question that needs to be answered is why are we seeing what we've seen today? And the reason for that is twofold. Number one, like Sunanda ji rightly said, in November, when the Honorable Supreme Court had suo motu extended the stay of the Campa Cola compound buildings to the residents, the court had also directed the BMC then to work out an amicable solution that fits within the framework of the existing laws. Subsequent to that, the residents of Campa Cola compound have given proposals to the BMC which were within the framework of the law, and they had requested BMC to consider those proposals and act accordingly. BMC Council on a couple of occasions has also submitted in the Honorable Supreme Court that they are considering these issues and they are trying to work out a solution. But in really speaking so, had they shown any kind of inclination to really help the residents of Campa Cola compound within the framework of the law, they have only dragged their feet on the issue.
You are levelling charges against the BMC. The BMC is run by the Shiv Sena BJP. Arvind Sawant is the new member of parliament from South Mumbai. He is joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Sawant, do you hear me? Because you've got to answer some serious questions that both Sunanda and Rahul Navrekar are asking of you. They're saying, why is it that the Supreme Court order which directed you to try and find a solution, an amicable solution, which would also consider the humanitarian needs of the residents of the Campa Cola compound, has not been acted upon by the BMC which your party runs, sir? Why are the BMC officials turning up to try and demolish this building without doing what was asked of the BMC, sir?
Rahul, I've got a point to clarify.
First thing, when Mr. Rahul is saying that,
go on, Mr. Sawant.
Mr. Rahul is saying like this, his brother is the chairman of the law committee of the BMC. You ask him what his brother is doing then.
When?
His brother itself is the law committee chairman in BMC with us. If he knows this, why he doesn't contribute to his brother itself? Well, therefore the question remains is that the present situation is such Instead of harping on such things, let us go to think of resolving this issue. The Honorable Supreme Court has given a verdict. In between, before that, they have given ample time to these people and the BMC also. Nobody went with the proposal, neither the society nor they. The fact remains that they were pleading with the Chief Minister. I too was there with them. I too have pleaded with the Chief Minister. I asked him before the session starts of the assembly session, I said some small amendment is required. If you promulgate that amendment, it will be easier for people to resolve this issue. The state government, it as present, has regularized the entire illegal structures in Ulhasnagar city. The entire Ulhasnagar, which is illegally erected by the citizens over there, it has been regularized by the state government. Now the state government has made a law. The hutment which has been constructed prior to 2000 are also being regularized. When you can do both these things, why not Campa Cola?
Well, Mr. Sawant, Sunanda, who is a resident of Campa Cola society, asked a very important question which you must answer. That if the Supreme Court guideline is what you are looking at, there is also a Supreme Court order on reopening the dance bars in Mumbai. There is a Supreme Court order on demolishing the Adarsh building. That hasn't happened.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not happened either.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. With the Supreme Court orders are there for Adarsh, why government is silent on that? And
Rahul Navrekar, your government must answer for this. Why is the Adarsh order, which asks for the demolition of the Adarsh building, which is found to be illegally constructed, not being implemented? Why are the Campa Cola residents only being targeted by your government?
Well, it's I just hope that Rahul, you'll give me enough time to respond to the volley of questions you put across to me and the baseless allegations that Mr. Sawant has made on your show tonight. Number one, I thought Mr. Sawant, being a member of parliament from Mumbai city, would know better of who runs the BMC and who are the official designates in various committees of the BMC. Number one, Mr. Makarand Narvekar, who is my brother, is not the chairman of the law committee. He used to be the chairman of the law committee last year, and while he was the chairman of the law committee, the Campa Cola residents will tell you themselves how he has gone pillar to post to help them and definitely made every effort to help them. So Mr. Sawant, let's get the record straight, number one. Number two, while Mr. Sawant talks about BMC playing their role pretty
what
fine,
Mr. Sawant has done, what
pretty fine,
has done, what Shiv Sena has done, I too have a records with me.
Okay, just speak one at a time. Let Rahul Navrekar complete. I'm coming back to you, Mr. Sawant, in just a moment. Rahul Navrekar, complete your argument.
Number two, when we are talking about, I must say this, it's pretty unfortunate, I wouldn't want to say this, but Rahul, you're pretty misinformed about the Adarsh case. Number one, in the Adarsh case, there was a commission of inquiry set up. The commission of inquiry has just about submitted their report to the government. This report was tabled in the assembly. I, being a legislator myself, have received a copy of that report, and now there will be an action taken report after the commission's report has been tabled. So the process is on. There is nothing that there is no violation or there is no contempt of the order of the Honorable Supreme Court. So be rest assured about that. Number three, insofar as your question with regards to amendment of the law is concerned, please appreciate that the law cannot be amended for a particular building, particular society or particular individual. This is a uniform law that will be applicable to the entire state. There is a issue of 55,000 illegal buildings, unauthorized buildings in Mumbai. There's a huge issue with regards to illegal construction.
Now, Rahul Navrekar, you're speaking now as a lawyer. The reality is the Adarsh committee report demands that no, 1 second, I don't agree with what Rahul Navrekar is suggesting at all, because the Adarsh committee demands that the illegal building be brought down. He is only taking recuse in the technical fact that the Supreme Court has so far ruled so. That doesn't change anything, nothing turns on it. I want to go across just now and explain to our viewers who the real villains in this case are, because it's really ironical that the BMC officials who stood by, allowed the builders to make the extra floors, are the officials, not them of course, their successors are the ones who turned up today to demolish the building despite them being a part of the problem. Let me explain that to our viewers right now. Who are the people who are to blame for what happened in the Campa Cola complex. This, of course, is one of the most tracked cases now. If we can have those graphics up on our screen, please. This building was constructed by PSB Construction Company by builders Yusuf Patel. Built and sold illegal flats, violated the floor space index restrictions, built more floors than they should have, registered flats despite the illegality, failed to stop builders despite the first stop work notice being given in 1984. That's for the BMC. The Supreme Court has ruled that the BMC buckled under pressure from the builders. The flat owners too are to blame, which is why this is a very complex case, because the occupants, several of whom were aware of the illegality. The Supreme Court has ruled that several knowingly bought and occupied illegal houses in the hope and the expectation that at some point in time the regularization would come through, and that's the question that Sunanda must answer. The fact that the Supreme Court has held now, madam, that several of the house buyers knew when they were buying the house that they were buying was illegal, and you believed in the sab theek ho jayega attitude that this would at some point in time get regularized, and you went in knowingly into what was a patently illegal deal.
I'm sorry to say, none of us knew that these flats are illegal. That's not true. I'm
now quoting only what the Supreme Court is saying. Surely you're not suggesting that the Supreme Court doesn't know what it's talking about, Sunanda.
I'm saying the Supreme Court was misled. You tell me, any intelligent human being, an average middle class, would he put all his life savings in an illegal structure? In those days, there was nothing known as an RTI. We were told by the builder that we would get the OC shortly after the building is completed. So once I have put my money into a project, and after some years we realized that there are some irregularities, where does the ordinary home buyer go? Today also there is a norm in Bombay which still stands. Once you book a flat in an under construction building, the OC comes only after the building is completed, by the time the buyer has completely invested in the project. How do you say that he knows the irregularities will be committed?
Sunanda is questioning what the Supreme Court has concluded. Do you think here the home buyers too are at fault, because now that the Supreme Court, after considering all facts, has ruled that they must vacate, are they now guilty of contempt, Mr. YP Singh?
They are absolutely guilty of contempt because they are taking law in their own hands. There is a legal concept of res judicata, where the issues, if they are heard and finally decided, that the judicial verdict has to be respected. It cannot be revised again. It assumes finality. Whether it is good or bad or not, you have to respect the rule of law. But unfortunately, neither the residents nor the BMC nor the police, they are respecting the law. When there was a clear mandate that they have to go and start the demolition, BMC had the necessary statutory authority to take the help of the police, use adequate force to push themselves in, and instead of that they were behaving like helpless, and the entire city is mocking at these BMC guys that they are working like sisters, despite the fact they have got statutory authority. In fact, there are several Supreme Court rulings on this, that
but Sunanda says that the Supreme Court rulings are also being implemented selectively. That there's a Supreme Court ruling also on the opening of dance bars. That hasn't been implemented. Why is this one ruling being implemented? She asks that question, sir.
No, there is no concept of negative equality. If a traffic cop is caught taking bribe, he cannot take the excuse, there are 1,000 other traffic cops, they are taking bribes, catch them first and then come to me. No, if they are responsible citizens, the right course for them is to take up the cause of all the illegal constructions. Adarsh case they have been citing again and again. There were final demolition orders issued by Jairam Ramesh, Environment Minister. They have gone to the court, they went to the High Court. High Court has given the stay that till the time the petition is heard, there will not be any demolition. These people never had care to ever go to the High Court and to intervene that yes, others should be demolished. They are not behaving like responsible citizens just because the adversity is falling on them, that today they are
Sunanda, two wrongs do not arise make. If some other Supreme Court order has not been implemented, doesn't mean that you can sit back and say that other orders haven't been implemented, so how can the order that impacts us be implemented, Sunanda?
No, I mean, I just want, why is this discrimination? So let the law of the Supreme Court exist for everybody equally. And I, as a resident of the Campa Cola compound. I'm not willing.
No, but what do you
Yes, sir,
intend to do? Sunanda, next time the BMC says they will come with force. Now, surely this must stop somewhere. You made a point. You've protested. That protest has been turned down. The Supreme Court has given a ruling. Now you must fall in line. Where do you intend to take this protest next?
We take this protest till we get justice, because after all, the BMC is also equally responsible. So are the builders and developers. Why aren't they?
Okay, let me put that question to
penalized?
Arvind Sawant, because that is an important question as well. What is being done against those members of the BMC who stood back and allowed this construction to take place? Why is no action, Mr. Sawant, being taken against them?
I am of the same opinion, but fact remains that the building was constructed in the year 1984. The commissioner, the then commissioner, maybe he is alive or not, I do not know right now. The commissioner, whoever the officers were there.
No, but surely, in a case that has been tracked as closely as this, you should have, as the local MP, answers to those questions, Mr. Sawant. It's your party that runs the BMC. You can't turn around and so casually say, I don't know who was in charge.
Try to understand. I do not want to take any excuses. I am of the same opinion. Those who are responsible municipal officers.
No, but if you haven't punished them in
who did not
40
take any
years,
action,
how are you going to punish them now, sir? 30 years have passed, you haven't punished them so far.
The same, therefore the same is applicable to the residents also. If you cannot punish them, why you are punishing the resident then? That's what the logical answer to this. Why you are punishing the resident then?
Rahul Navrekar, your chief minister, has also been criticized for not stepping in. Your chief minister was requested by the residents of Campa Cola compound and also other political parties to try and step in. He didn't do something. Do you think this could prove costly for the Congress NCP in Mumbai, given the anger this case has generated, Rahul Navrekar?
Rahul, I'll tell you, if political considerations were to override the welfare of this city and this state, then I think the Congress NCP would rather go with the latter, and that is the welfare of the state and the city. One. Number two, please appreciate that the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra had committed to the people of residents of Campa Cola compound, very clearly told them, I will do everything that is within the framework of the law and which will not violate the orders of the Honorable Supreme Court. One. Number two, when there was an easier solution available before the residents form the BMC, why did the BMC not take the necessary steps to resolve this issue within the framework of the available laws as on date? The Honorable Supreme Court at suo motu directed the BMC that you take necessary action, sit down with the residents.
This is one case
come up with an
where everyone is blaming the other. And frankly, everyone is in part
there is no question of blaming.
From the residents who knew that the building was illegal, who went out and bought it in the hope that it will get regularized, from the BMC officials who allowed the building to come up in the first place. The greed of the builder, and remember, the builder, who is the real guilty party in this case, hasn't been acted against either. This is a complete mess, and at different levels reflects what's wrong in our country, where today even the Supreme Court judgment is being questioned, and residents are saying, and with reason, that why are Supreme Court judgments being implemented selectively and not in totality? Why aren't all being implemented together?